November 26, 1981. Here, by the Hotel Ivoire in Abidjan, we're about to see the start of one of the toughest, if not the toughest, events in the year's World Rally Championship, the 1981 Ivory Coast Rally. Eklund from Sweden is in car number 1, a Toyota Celica. He takes off at 8 on the dot. Frecklin, currently leading the World Rally Drivers' Championship, is next in a Peugeot. He follows Eklund 2 minutes later. Valdegaard, last year's winner, is in another Toyota Celica, and third to go. A Datsun 160J GT is car number 4. In it are Salonen and his regular co-driver, Harjanne, both from Finland. This is their first try in this event and only their second African rally, which everyone agrees makes special demands on both car and driver. Here's another Peugeot with well-known Ivory Coast driver Ambrosino. And here's Meta, who made history in the Safari Rally this year by winning the event for the third time in a row. All 3 wins were in a Datsun. Vatanen in a Ford Escort RS follows Meta's Datsun 160J GT. He is just 2 points behind Frecklin in the Drivers' Championship. Mitri, another outstanding Ivory Coast driver, is in car number 8, completing the Datsun Works team. Behind Mitri are 42 more starters, including the French actor Jean-Louis Trintignant, who, interestingly enough, played a car racer in his most popular film, A Man and a Woman. This is the 13th Ivory Coast Rally. It used to be called the Bandama Rally. It's a notoriously tough event. In 1972, it became one of the first rallies ever in history without any finishers. This year, total distance is 5,087 kilometers. The route is mostly unpaved, and with the rains before the start, there could be a lot of rough and sticky spots ahead. Right now, there's a threat in the air of more rain to come. The rally is divided into 4 legs. The first half of the first leg went from Abidjan to Yamoussoukro, which from now on is serving as the base of the rally. That first half was run in the dark, and true to the rally's reputation for being extremely tough, 17 of the 50 starters failed to reach the very first time control, just 41 kilometers from the start. There was a 4-hour pause at Yamoussoukro with the cars restarting at 4 a.m. for the second half of the first leg. An electric storm broke out during the night, and Valdegaard and Eklund in their Toyota Celicas had the luck of running ahead of it. All the others had to contend with the torrential downpour, which can make a very big difference. Out of the 1,257 kilometers of the first leg, only 69 are on tarmac. Along the route, there are a lot of beautiful and picturesque scenes. But for Salonen in his Datsun 160J GT, there's really no time to enjoy the view. He's got to keep going as fast as he can. At this point, he's leading overall, but the others are in hot pursuit, and the end of the first leg is still some 200 kilometers away. Eklund is trying his utmost to keep pace with Salonen. This is especially important for the Toyota team. Though still early in the race, Voldegaard is already out because of engine failure. So far, the Datsun team is intact. And here we see Mehta carrying on with the front runners. Here's the third Celica in the Toyota Works team. Mitri in his Datsun 160J. And Frecklin in his Peugeot carrying out his private battle with Vatanen in his Ford Escort for the Drivers' Championship. In such a demanding rally like this is, servicing naturally is extra essential. You've got to be prepared to solve all kinds of problems. So far, the problems in the race have ranged from Voldegaard's engine trouble to Vatanen's Ford going onto 3 cylinders to Frecklin's Peugeot's engine stopping dead. Datsun's participation in the rally is in cooperation with its distributor in the Ivory Coast, Comafrique Nissan. Aside from Japanese mechanics, the Datsun service crew has local mechanics from Comafrique. It's, of course, a very valuable experience for all. It's a chance to test and improve their skills, and whatever experience they gain will come in handy with their regular jobs. By the second leg, the constant threat of rain makes its presence felt even further. With such rain, the roads could easily become treacherously muddy. The second leg sees Salonen maintain his overall lead. Now there are only 19 cars left in the race. Frecklin seems to be recovering ground after falling to 24th at one point. Eklund is no doubt more determined than ever to keep things up for the Toyota team. This year's Ivory Coast Rally is round 9 for makes and round 11 for drivers in the 1981 World Rally Championship. After this, there's only the RAC Rally in Britain to go. For this second leg, the route covers 1,370 kilometers, going north from Yamoussoukro and running along the border with Guinea, then heading back south after almost reaching Mali. The race took off at 2 after midnight today, October 28th. At the start, Salonen was still leading overall, followed by Eklund. Mehta and Mitri were 4th and 5th. This is only the Datsun 160J GT's first year in rallying, but it's well suited to Africa. This year, it placed 1st and 2nd in the Safari. The Toyota team is under the direction of Anderson, himself a very successful rally driver, until he started concentrating more on directing the Toyota Team Europe. The second leg is considered to be the hardest, and earlier the cars went through what has definitely been the toughest section so far. There they encountered a very muddy stretch, and all the leading cars got stuck at one point or another. It was a very tricky situation, with drivers' tempers flaring as they tried to outdo each other in extricating themselves and get to the time control with minimum penalties. third leg brings more night driving, starting at 12 noon, October 29th, and lasting until 6 the next morning. Along the way, the tired cars get the chance for some much-needed servicing. Though under time pressure, every second counts, servicing has to be as thorough and precise as possible. Sometimes the drivers themselves have to get into the act. Communication and cooperation are crucial. Concentration, no less. This year's Ivory Coast Rally is being described as one of the hardest ever in the rally's history. One of its most distinctive features is the large number of muddy areas. Thanks to the rains, there are potholes filled with water or mud in which one can easily get stuck. You've got to be very careful. A split second too fast could see you right into one of those potholes, and getting out could mean a long delay, or worse, retirement. The third leg is the longest, covering 1,713 kilometers, including a very difficult night run through the Thai forest. The route is a southbound loop, again going from Yamoussoukro and back. Regrouping takes place twice at San Pedro on the coast. On this third stage, the Toyota and Peugeot teams are launching a determined attack on Datsun, and though Salonen continues to keep his overall lead, it's still too early to be confident of victory. The race is still open. Anything could happen, and Salonen can't afford to take it easy. What with Eklund, Meta, Mitri, Ambrosino, Assef, Frecklin, and Vatanen putting continuous pressure on him. At Yamoussoukro, after the third leg, the cars look like battered survivors of a great battle, as indeed they are. Now there are only 9 left in the rally. Vatanen is hanging on in 9th. Early Saturday morning, October 31st, before daybreak, we see Salonen and Hayane make their way to the starting point of the 4th and last leg of the rally. Starting time is 3 a.m. Ahead lie 747 kilometers, ending up in Abidjan, where it all started 5 nights and 4 days ago. Salonen has a 50-minute lead. Meta is now in 2nd place, having displaced Eklund. But Eklund is just 28 minutes behind Meta, so it's still a toss-up between him and the Safari winner. Behind Eklund lies Mitri in 4th, a place he finished in 1973 and 77. Ambrosino, 3rd last year, follows Mitri. And Assef, 4th last year and 3rd in 1975, has his Toyota Celica in 6th, behind Frecklin in 5th. The last last leg is shorter than the others, but no easier. The 747 kilometers include one especially tricky section where more mud holes lurk to trap the unwary. Because of its similarity to the safari, the Ivory Coast Rally is sometimes referred to as the definitive long-distance endurance event in the French-speaking bloc, while the safari is its counterpart in the English-speaking bloc. That distinction aside, the fact is the two rallies are unquestionably the toughest in the World Rally Championship. Certainly nowhere is there such a high number of retirees as in the Ivory Coast Rally. The beauty of such a keenly competitive rally like this is that whether you like it or not, you sometimes have to do things together, like Datsun and Toyota sharing this ferry. As we approach the end, we discover that Eklund has retaken second place following Meta's delay in a mud hole. As for Frecklin and Vatanen, they're still at their own battle for that driver's championship. Abidjan, the finish is in sight. The 9 who set out on the last leg have made it here. The winner's ramp is right where the rally started from, by the Hotel Ivoire. After that grueling battle through more than 5,000 kilometers, the survivors deserve a hero's welcome, and a crowd is here to give them just that. Salonen, in his Datsun 160J GT, is the winner. A great victory for him, especially because this is but his first Ivory Coast rally and second rally in Africa. Eklund is second. Meta is third. Mitri is fourth, placing the 3 Datsun entries in first, third, and fourth. The Datsun team makes up a third of the 9 who, out of the 50 starters, have made it to the finish. And as far as the World Rally Championship is concerned, it's another triple crown of overall, class, and team victories for Datsun, a repeat of its spectacular performance in this year's safari. And that makes Datsun an even closer second in the 1981 World Rally Championship.